Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to our respectful lecturer and our beloved students. We are from Group 2 and today we are going to present about the case study of masonry building in Malaysia. And the building that we chose was Lantern Hotel in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The Lantern Hotel is an amazing 4-story building with an industrial meets tropical design. In this hotel, you may receive the best of comfort and convenience, as well as the unique culture and friendly atmosphere of the hotel. This hotel is situated next to all the major sites, tourism attractions, and transport hubs, which make it easy for the tenants to view and visit the building. The design process for the Lantern Hotel project started in 2012, with long periods of time to get the building facade approval from the authorities and client expectations to achieve 49 guest rooms, facilities for breakfast, centralized computer area, local area, and outdoor terrace overlooking Petaling Street, Chinatown. And last, the existing shops houses at these sites were demolished and were replaced with a huge building block of 5 levels with no regards to the surrounding or the Malaysian heritage. Hon Leong Bank is operating at the first 2 levels, and the 3 levels above were empty buildings for the last few years and were almost recently used for the bookstore as far as we know.
In this next part, we will explain more about the masonry wall of the hotel. So the first part is the types of bricks that was used. We can divide this into 2 parts, which is the interior and the exterior, both of which uses different materials, and the interior uses the clay brick wall, which is commonly used to structure the form of the building, and also because it is very efficient to support heavy loads. However, the exterior, they use more of a lightweight concrete block. This is for an air ventilation, cross ventilation inside the building. And next, we will talk about the types of bond that was used. For the interior, they use a more common bond. This is because to support the heavy load bearings that building has to provide. And then we have the Flemish bond, which is more of a modernized version of it, because if you notice, some of the bricks pattern, there's like a tiny hole in the middle of the Flemish bond. This is to allow airflow to come into the building for cross ventilation purposes. And the materials that was used are the traditional materials such as clay brick, timber for louvers and window shutters, and stones such as terrazzo. For the modern materials that was used were lightweight block, plasterboard, and steel bar for roofing. The pattern of the exterior and the interior of the building are different. However, the construction process to create the form of the building is similar to a common brickwork construction process.
The construction of Lantern Hotel Kuala Lumpur began during 2012 with the concept of industrial meets tropical design to match the urban aesthetic of Kuala Lumpur. The construction techniques used to construct the basic form of this building follows the basis of the masonry brickwork process. The process goes as the following: the process of soaking the brick into water for the next 12 hours before using the brick. Number 2, laying out the bricks into position following the type of bond that was used, which are the common bond for the interior of the building and the modernized Flemish bond. The third one, the curing process, is to ensure the brick is not damaged when it's laid out under the sun or rain by keeping the brick wet for the next 20 hours. The fourth protection layer was applied to keep the brickwork safe from damage. The fifth one is provided a necessary scaffolding onto the brickwork to ensure the brickwork is able to support the heavy load-bearing walls.
In these studies, shows the aesthetic value of Lantern Hotel can be defined in several categories. For example, space and mass. A hallway in the hotel is a state which came in a various form to show satisfaction and harmonious design. Secondly, symmetry. A hotel symmetry element is the reflection of shades room, shapes, or angle across the hallway of each apartment. The hallway components that mirror each other across an axis are symmetrical, including the furniture and entrance to each apartment. Thirdly, The pattern. One of the reasons of its popular facade is the repetition of pattern underlying structure that organizes surfaces or structures in a consistent and regular manner. Through such a unique pattern, the light passes through the unique colored bricks, created a natural, roughly horn effects. Next is the balance. Visual balance of the hotel occurs around the vertical axis of the facade. The cube shapes of the facade make the building looks balanced and overpowering the whole design. Next is the principle of arts of contrast. Lantern Hotel refers to the arrangement of elements of color and textures, such as lights versus dark colors, rough versus smooth textures, large versus small shapes, and more. Next is the decorations. Lanterns Hotel decoration is something which added into the building to improve its aesthetic value and appearance. For instance, the light effects, some ornaments, color, art drawings, and etc. Lanterns Hotel also have a rhythm of aesthetic value. It also serves as a repeating element to create interest, movement, harmony, and unity of its brickwork, furniture, arrangement of facades, and more.
To sum it all up, our case study of Lantern Hotel is situated in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, playing numerous key roles in presenting the uniqueness and beauty of masonry architecture. There is no doubt that thousands of visitors and tourists came to Malaysia, especially from China, to visit this hotel. The Lantern Hotel design, either the facade or interior, has inspired and influences many architects to work on masonry building around the globe. So masonry building such as Lantern Hotel uses how it can be work of art in infrastructure. So the project of building also shows the good detailings in construction, the aesthetic value, and the technique implemented in the building.